All right, so I think we'll come back to Bettina in just a few moments. But joining us now also to discuss more on the election is Bukola Idowu. He is the Executive Director of the Kimpact Development Initiative. Bukola, welcome to New Central Now. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
So let's start with looking at your expectations for this Edo State governorship election. What do you think we should anticipate seeing in the next few hours? It's 48 hours now till those elections. What do you think is on the table?
So I think the first thing is that we anticipate that the voters will come out, the citizens of Edo will come out and vote in the election. So we expect to see them coming out to vote in the election. Now, if they will come out in their large number, is another conversation entirely. But with what we have seen here in Edo, the INEC, there are 4 major preparations, and then we can assess their level of readiness for the election on Saturday. Number 1 is the INEC in terms of their readiness. Number 2 is the security agencies in terms of their readiness also for the election. Number 3 are the political parties, and then number 4 are the citizens. But if you ask me, the 4 categories of stakeholders I mentioned are all claiming they are ready for the election, but we expect to see that readiness translate into an each free election come on Saturday.
Now, do you think that the election will be free and fair? Are there any challenges that could hinder the success of this election? And that question is asked on INEC's side before we look at sort of the state of security and the sentiment around the election.
I think for me personally, and I think for also my organization, we have not raised our hope concerning this election, because the indices and the indices and the context at which which this election is going to take place have not changed from what you have in Imo, Kogi, Bayelsa in the last election, and even what we have in 2023. Nothing has changed. Everything is still in place. Of course, if you look at this election, a particular political party has been crying of political arrest, federal might, and you've also seen other political parties also saying, look, the level has not been a level playing ground. And so for us, I think it is safer for us not to raise our expectation too high. But if you have a bit of progress, yes, we will celebrate it. But for us, I don't think we should expect probably a near perfect election.
So free and fair elections are not only the responsibility of INEC, we also have to look at the security situation, how safe people feel to come out. We've heard about how many ad hoc workers there are. What do we know about the police numbers or the security numbers, and even just this general sentiment around security for this election? There's been a conversation around potential cultism or cultists being involved in some form or fashion. So what do we know about the security state of mind of the people when it comes to the Edo governorship election on Saturday?
That is why I said we should not raise our expectation too high, because the aspect of election, credibility of an election doesn't rest on INEC alone. So when you look at the security agencies we are talking about, they have a role to play, because if they fail in their responsibility, the whole election is also going to be in shambles. So what the police have told us now is that police are deploying 35,000 men, and they are expecting 8,000 from sister organization, agency. By sister agency, we are talking about the DSS, we are talking about the immigration, we are talking about the civil defense, we are talking about the road safety, correctional center. So all of them are involved in this election, and we are expecting 8,000 from them. Then police deploying 35,000. So all in all, in Edo, we are going to see about 43,000 security agency policing or securing this election. And one of the things you also need to know is that there is within the states, that what we call diminishing trust level. When it comes to the security agency and then the INEC itself. So the level of confidence among the citizen is not too high. So that alone is also a cause for concern. But when you look at what the police have done, they are, as of yesterday, they carried out raid into where they call the hideout of criminals for this election. Another thing we expect them to do is that how far have they been able to mob small and small and light arms, because you find out that this before the election, before this time, from January, with what we have tracked, this state is like a fertile ground for courtesan thriving here. So at what have they been able to do to stem that? Because they become a ready platform for political violence or election violence if that is not being curbed. But as it is today, the state is going to be policed and secured by 43,000 people personnel for this election.
Before we wrap things up with you, I want to ask, what are the issues that are bringing Edo people to the polls on Saturday? And have we succeeded in making this an issues-based campaign? Aside from some fapus here and there from players involved, is this an issues-based campaign, and what the issues are that are bringing Edo people to the polls?
Okay, so I think on the issue-based campaign, I think from our tracking, we have seen issue-based campaign to be things around, I think it's around 55% when you analyze some of their campaigns and promises and what narration they have been saying is around the issue. Dealing with the issues around 55%, and then the remaining 45% has to do with issue of personality attack. Attacking, not staying on the issues, slandering, mudsliding, attack, hate speech, and provocative speech. We have seen that. And for me, I keep saying that Edo will have even set an example for us if the candidate will have been able to go into debate, because we are looking at three strong candidates that this is likely going to be the best we will have seen in terms of debate in this country. Now think about the candidate of Labour Party going head to head in a debate with the candidate of PDP, both of them lawyers of at that high caliber. One of them MBA president at some point, then one of them, a PDP candidate who have been able to sit on various boards. You can imagine the kind of intellectual contestation and the debate we will have had. I wish Edo people have even denied the country to witness such a thing. And then you're also looking at a sitting senator from APC who is also, we can say vast politically, being a sitting senator. We will have seen contest of idea, but Edo people have lost that opportunity to give us that kind of debate. But if you ask me, the rhetorics are there, and then you also have the rhetorics are worrying when you look at the the personality attack. This is not what we want to see. But coming to what is likely going to bring the people to the poll this time around, now there are about three things that are likely going to bring the people to the poll. Number one, the politics of identity is going to bring people to the poll, and which we have seen in Edo. So you have seen that people are saying, no, the governorship should come to the central this time around. So that kind of identity is going to bring people to the poll on Saturday. Number two thing that's going to bring people to the poll on Saturday is that because people, some of the gladiators also have something to prove. Oshiomhole has something to prove. Obaseki has something to prove in this election. So they are going to do all manners of mobilization they can do. Then the last thing that is going to bring people into the poll and which at the lower cadre is poverty. Because this time around, you cannot rule out people are ready to sell their votes because of the economic hardship in the state. If you recall, a few weeks ago, there are protests across the country on end bad governance, hunger protests. Now, Edo State happened to be one of the states that that protest took place. So, and that is to let you know that the indices within Edo State also say, look, people are hungry, and in this election, and I tell people that, look, 1,000 naira will mean a lot to people. So one of the things we need to look at for that will bring people is that how many people are ready to sell their vote. And I'm afraid that the winner of the election may not be the best, but may be the person that spent the most in this election.
And that's an unfortunate way to end this conversation, but one we hope that you're not going to be a prophet and we can see a difference here. Bukola Idowu, Executive Director of the Impact Development Initiative, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.